From bewitching high school dramas to otherworldly power fantasies, anime is often a vehicle for some seriously engaging storytelling. Yet, while it doesn't seem necessarily like the most natural fit, some of the most compelling anime series of recent years have been centered on sports and fitness. Unlike most feature films and live action TV shows, sports anime may not always be grounded in reality. But because anime brings a whole new quirky twist to sports, it can often be as entertaining as some of the best sports biopics, if not more so. On that note, from traditional uplifting dramas to genres bending comedies, in this video we will go over all of my favorite sports anime of all time. But before diving into the list, let me tell you that this is not ranked. Rather, it was actually very hard to rank any of these animes. They are all so good that they cannot be compared to one another. So make sure to watch all of them. And without any further ado, let's start with our video. On the 10th number, the anime name is Megalobox. The premise of the series involves Junk Dog, an underground megalo boxer. He participates in a popular sport in their world known as megaloboxing. What is megaloboxing? It's basically a sport that involves boxers fighting with metal gears. Think of it as boxing but with more lethal and brutal consequences. Junk Dog takes on the moniker name Joe so he can participate in that tournament. Throughout the series, we see his life journey as both Megalo Boxer and a person. On the first viewing, Megalo Boxer made an intimidating and fascinating impression on me. I haven't seen the original Ashita no Joe series before, so coming into the anime fresh felt intimidating at first. On the other hand, I am also fascinated by the larger-than-life ideas of the show. The first 2 episodes immediately had me glued to my seat as we witnessed Junk Dog showing his fighting skills as a megalo boxer. It doesn't take long to realize that the show portrays him as an underdog. The experience that Joe gains is invaluable and also allows him to realize his potential. I am also a sucker for this underdog type of plot. For Megalo Boxing tournament, the stakes are raised higher because of how dangerous it is. Every fight feels as if Joe is putting his life on the line against opponents. The characters he came across are no pushovers. Junk Dog later takes on the ring named Gearless Joe because of his own choice to fight without his gears in the ring. The story is very impressive and I personally really enjoyed this anime and definitely you should watch this one. On the 9th number, the anime name is Ping Pong the Animation. Okay, so this explanation is gonna be a little long. A show will be despised by some of the unorthodox and uncommon mediums of presentation and execution. I hold the notion that Ping Pong the Animation truly uses its unorthodox way with great triumph and success. Ping Pong the Animation is set in a local Japanese town and portrays the life of 2 young boys in a local table tennis club. Having an innate talent for the sport, Makoto Tsukimoto, nicknamed as Smile, and his close friend Yukata Hoshino, nicknamed as Pekko, are shown as 2 ordinary Japanese males with hidden latent potential in their sport. Both of these characters have their own unique playing style which is different from each other and is manifested clearly throughout the course of the show. Both Smile and Pekko have their own memorable characteristics and qualities. Smile is shown invariably depressed and have no interest in the sport itself, whether it be a competition or leisure play. Instead, his reason for being in that club is to merrily kill the time in his pathetic life. Be it the monologues of the Smile to the stoic and emotionlessly quality of his, he is still showing as a likable character with genuine qualities. Despite hiding away his emotions, it is made evident towards the audience that he does in reality portrays a sense of morality and his own set of beliefs and attitudes, especially during and after the match against Wenge Kong, an extremely skilled foreign table tennis player from China. Kong is another unique member of the cast in Ping Pong the Animation, as it gives a national sense of the diversity towards our main Japanese cast. Not only this, but we are also able to see the insight of the players from foreign countries besides Japan as well. Ping Pong the Animation has taught me many prominent values in life: hard work, talent, and having fun. These 3 constituents are all important ingredients that some people will always have more than other. And no one can become the best player out there in the world with merely heavy amount of hard work but having no fun at all. If you want to do well in something, you have to enjoy it. Don't envy those who significantly have more talent and have power in them. strive for that power yourself by hard work and effort. But most importantly, remember to have fun and enjoy the time you spend in the sport. Ping Pong the Animation is really a great anime and one of my favorite sports anime of all time. So, if you haven't watched this anime, you should definitely check it out. On the 8th number, the anime name is Kaze ga Tsuyoku Fuiteiru. Kaze ga Tsuyoku Fuiteiru, or in English, Run with the Wind, is a really special show. It's been a long time since any story has quite impacted me as this strongly. This story is actually quite simple. A bunch of college students decides to run a marathon and their journey to reaching it. The execution is where this anime shines. There is never a waste movement at all. Every episode is either focused on the growth of the character, the growth of the team, or a major cliffhanger that leaves you wanting more. The anime, outside of some unrealistic dramatic scenes, felt very relatable and refreshing. The college students felt mature, but not too mature, just the way people out of the high school should feel. The story focuses on their training, on the amount of suffering they went through, and on the support they had from their community and family. And most importantly, on how each character overcame their obstacles one at a time instead of suddenly being a top tier runner. The story is a strong execution of the sport anime plot. It will keep you wanting more. It will make you feel excited for team and for their performance. And it will actually make you focus on all of the subtle scenes that are thrown in, which connects to all of the characters in the final race. On the 7th number, the anime name is Initial D First Stage. I never thought a story about streetcar racing would be this entertaining. On the surface, the story is about a pretty bland high school guy who's got a bunch of car crazy friends and turns out to be the second fastest driver in Akina. Most of the story is just a bunch of kids in cars racing through the dark mountain passes, or either talking about racing through the dark mountain passes. I know it doesn't sound interesting if you are not into car races like me, but trust me, it was hell lot of interesting. There's something about the speed and the pressure and the tension that sucks you into the show. And of course, there's also your normal sport anime type genre plot of competition and desire. The main character Takumi was somewhat atypical for this genre, but I pretty much liked it. Unlike the normal archetypes like the loser who tries really hard or the cocky natural born genius, Takumi is sort of actually unique. He is in between those two type of characters. He doesn't know anything about cars and doesn't even like driving. It was a nice way to start because I didn't even care about the street racing when I started the show either. Even though they toss around a little bit of racing lingo, I was never more behind than a main character was. And as a viewer, I got a chance to become interested in the street racing while Takumi got interested in it. I really like that his development on this show kind of went down the same road that mine did as a viewer. So I thought they did a great job on this character design and development because his attitude and experience is what hooks you and reels you into what I assume would be an otherwise complicated and technical world of street racing. I have to say, but the animation quality is very bad of this anime, especially in the first season. Thankfully, by the fourth season, there's a remarkable improvement overall in the animation quality. So if you are into street racing, or even if you are not into street racing, you should definitely watch this anime. On the 6th number, the anime name is Chihaya Furu. Chihaya Furu is a sport anime about Karuta. What is Karuta, you ask? I had no idea either until I watched this anime. Karuta is a card game based upon Japanese poetry, with hundreds of poems as a card, so memorizing is a key. As a reader reads out the first line of the poem, the player's goal is to touch the corresponding card that has the second line of the poem before the opponent. Sounds boring, right? Well, you could not be more wrong. The way Chihaya Furu despises the relationship between the characters and the feeling of those who dedicate their lives to something only be trumped by those more talented. If you have ever competed in anything seriously, you can really relate to this plot. The story is similar to many of the sport animes. The main character Chihaya Ayase's childhood dream is to watch her sister become the number one model. This all changes when she meets a transfer student Arata Wataya, which opens her eye to the world of competitive Karuta. Ever since this fated meeting that made her entrance into the world of Karuta, her dream has been to become the queen, which is the best female Karuta player. From here on out, the plot is quite simple, with Chihaya going to Karuta societies to improve or tournament to compete, finding rivals, mentors and teammates along the way, each with their own influence on Chihaya. And the characters in this anime really do not disappoint. From the designs to their personalities, each character has a trait to love. Each of very character has their own dilemma, which they face on their own, inspiring us not only through their success but also in their own failure. Even the side characters have character progressions too, and they are also explored throughout the show. On the fifth number, the anime name is Free. Okay, first, a straight young guy talking here. I watched this anime in about just 2 days, about 6 episodes per day. That's how captivating this anime was for me. I am aware of all the hating comments from one side of the anime community. I mean, I had fan service myself. But firstly, I usually am capable of ignoring it if the story, action, or the characters in the anime are good. Being able to simply laugh at the gayish scenes made this anime kind of more enjoyable to me. Regarding the story, until the first 4-5 episodes, I thought it was okay and simple. But after few episodes, I started getting connected to those characters. In my opinion, all of the characters are really amazing in this anime. The scenes are kind of predictable and unpredictable at the same time. You guess what is going to happen, but still you are amazed at how good it is performed. The relationship among the characters also brings back the old topic of valuing true friendship, which in my opinion is one of the most important matters in general, be it an anime, movie or a real life story. And character development, as I said before, is really amazing of this anime too. And if you haven't watched this anime yet, you should definitely watch it. On the fourth number, the anime name is Hajime no Ippo. Hajime no Ippo, or in English Fighting Spirit, is a fantastic shonen, sport, comedy and action anime produced by one of the greatest studio ever, which is Madhouse. Even though it doesn't tell the entire story, the story it does tell is truly amazing. It's about your classic teenage underdog who's pretty shy and get bullied and looked down upon by some of his peers. Then one fateful day he comes across a boxing gym with a great pro boxer, and soon he desires to become a boxer. Sure, this setup sounds very typical for a shonen sport drama, but I personally enjoyed the story about the underdog overcoming continuous obstacles. Ippo is the character that this entire series revolves around, and that is good because he is very likable character for the average viewer. It is easy for some viewers, including myself, to relate to his desire to be reborn. And what's more than that is that viewers can watch him develop and struggle to achieve his goal. What's also great is that the plenty of time is spent introducing and giving some backstories behind Ippo's opponent, and that too just before the match, which makes things more interesting when his opponent also have a valid reason to win. Furthermore, there are quite a few supporting characters to enjoy as well, because some of them are truly hilarious. The quality of this animation may be outdated, but thanks to the Madhouse expert animators, it suits this anime adaptation perfectly. There's even quite a fair bit of detail put into the surroundings. Sure, the character designs are very unappealing, but what matters in this manly show is the actual boxing, which is animated perfectly. The characters move fluidly, but sadly there are quite a few corn cuts, especially when it comes to recycling scenes. But still, this anime will be worth your time. On the third number, the anime name is Yuri on Ice. Once upon a time, there was a young man with a big dream. He idolized a famous Russian skater named Viktor and hoped to skate on the very same ice as him. Initially, the dream sunk until Yuri was able to impress Viktor by imitating his routine to perfection. You can guess what happens next. Viktor is so impressed that he decides to be Yuri's coach at the upcoming Grand Prix finals. Starting off, the first few episodes introduce our main protagonist. Yuri Katsuki is a 23-year-old male protagonist who have been skating at a young age. Although not hailed as a prodigy, Yuri's determination and personality earns him praise and friends. His weakness lies with pressure as he is known to mess up at crucial moments. Early on, we can see this easily as Yuri has even self-doubts about his own body. In essence, Yuri is a good natural guy that most of us can relate to and has a lot of potential that is just waiting to be unlocked. That brings in Viktor, the key to making Yuri into the next big thing. The 27-year-old figure skater has gained international recognition for his talent and has won numerous championships. As such, you can expect that Viktor has countless fans around the world. He is also Yuri's idol, and him becoming his coach is a dream come true. The duo has some of the best chemistry in the entire series that begins as a professional relationship to friends and even intimacy. leaving some of the gayish elements of this anime is really worth watching. On the second number, the anime name is Kuroko no Basket. The main character is not some overpowered monster that destroys everyone. No, he is very simple. You barely notices him, but you know he creates the biggest hype, and you can barely wait to see what he will be capable to do in the future. But he faces hardships, real hardships. He is the underdog you like to root for. Right at the beginning of the season 2, his potential will scare you. His rivals are not only his rivals, but they are his friends. You will also get to know them and their traits. You will appreciate the anime for its cool and story characteristics as much as you will do for the sport component. The character development is ridiculously good, and you will get to see all of these characters play in the top team in about 25 episodes. One game lasting for about 2 or 3 episodes, which is just the right amount of time. It is packed with action, it is packed with story, and it has just the right amount of each thing that you need. It keeps topping itself over and over and over again, and you will get more and more excited. And this anime is not only for basketball or sports fan. No, you can like fighting animes such as Fairy Tail, Bleach, Naruto, and still you will love this anime. You won't be let down by the action of the Kuroko no Basket, I guarantee it. And you should definitely check out this underrated anime. On the first number, the anime name is Haikyuu. The most important thing in the team sport is, without a doubt, the team. This holds especially true for the volleyball. Having 6 talented players is all fine, but as long as they aren't a team and don't show team spirit, that talent is surely in vain. But what if it is other way around? Is it a sure way to win when you have one team where not everyone is talented? Not really, but the chances are higher when there's one team rather than 6 players. Haikyuu, or High Jump in English, is about Hinata and Kageyama, 2 players who originally stand at the opposite side of the volleyball net. Plus, personality wise, they are also polar opposites too. And due to the fact that they attend the same high school, they are forced to work together. During this process, they learn the importance of a team and that you don't lose or win alone. The show eventually does focus on the entire Karasuno volleyball team and on the other teams too, but it's still obvious that who the main characters are. As with most of the sport anime, the sport starts with Hinata and Kageyama meeting and fighting, then joining the Karasuno volleyball team. And after that, the story follows the team battling all of the different schools all the way to the inter-highs. The volleyball aspect are very well explained though, and nicely weaved into the dialogue. We learn about different positions in the volleyball game. We learn about Liberio when the Liberio appears. We learn about quicks as when Hinata and Kageyama performs a quick. There is no huge information dump in that manner. The viewer is pretty much spooned off with information. One term explained at a time, and very nicely. The plot isn't very original and average at best, but to be fair, Haikyuu is an anime where it's more about the characters than the story, and it is one of my favorite sports anime of all time. And if you haven't watched Haikyuu yet, what are you doing in your life? Just stop watching this video right now and just go and watch Haikyuu. And I think that was for today's video, guys. That was all about the top 10 sports anime of all time. What are your thoughts about this list? If you have watched any of this anime mentioned in this video, then make sure to comment down below and let me know your reviews and opinions about this particular animes in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, just don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel because I post daily anime content about top 10 top 5 listings, anime reviews, recommendations, news, theories and all sort of anime content on daily basis. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and that was it, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.